How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to 2A News Now. And here at 2A News Now, you get your Second Amendment news, straightforward and to the point, with no BS added in. The ATF has confiscated a man's guns, even though his record has been expunged. No matter how much you hate the ATF, it's not nearly enough, despite the fact that a name like Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives really should be the name of a retail outlet. There's a fact that they just don't try to regulate the industry. They actively oppose your right to keep and bear arms. We've seen numerous cases of the Bureau trying to infringe on people's rights, even violating the law in some cases to do so. But their latest stunt is potentially even worse, the way Jeramy Wilburn sees it. He only messed up once. The poor decision-making of a child shouldn't determine one's freedoms for the rest of his life. The 34-year-old Allen Park resident was known for making YouTube videos about gun safety. He's also a fan of sport shooting, and until this past November, he was free to partake in the shooting sports. But then the ATF took away his guns because of a past domestic violence conviction, which happened years ago. This despite having the conviction expunged in 2022. Wilburn's conviction was a misdemeanor in 2008. As punishment, the judge put him on probation and ordered him to take a domestic violence class, and he didn't receive any jail time. And in February of 2022, that one mistake was wiped from his record. Wilburn's record was expunged. Legally speaking, it was like the conviction never happened. It was completely wiped from his record. Unfortunately for him, though, the ATF seems to feel otherwise. Wilburn has now filed a federal lawsuit. The suit argues that Wilburn should be able to possess firearms, but the feds say Wilburn still could be convicted of domestic violence again. It's unfair for them to say he should be forever barred, forever prohibited from carrying a firearm, just because he could potentially get a second offense. Honestly, that is a terrifying argument that, if allowed to stand, could eventually set a precedent for all kinds of other problems. Could Wilburn be convicted of domestic violence again? Hypothetically, he could. The fact that he's gone 15 years without doing so suggests what happened was isolated, and he's unlikely to do so again. But it's also largely irrelevant. We don't punish people based on what they might do. This is real life. This is not a movie like Minority Reports. Had the conviction not been expunged, that would be one thing, but it was expunged. His record was wiped clean. This is essentially him getting his rights restored. Only that probably wasn't an option, since he only was charged with a misdemeanor. Yet let's understand that taking his guns, because he might be convicted of domestic violence again, isn't all that different from deciding you and I can't have guns because we might be convicted of domestic violence. At some point in the future, they don't have the authority to do this, which is why Wilburn is taking the ATF to court. I think it goes without saying, we're glad he's suing the ATF. And we pray he doesn't have to wait long to get his guns back. They should have never been taken from him in the first place, based on the facts that we know. So no, it's probably not impossible to hate the ATF enough. This is just another instance that we can add to the list why we hate the ATF so much. And hopefully soon there will be a change in the White House. And then hopefully we will get a director of the ATF that follows the rules of law and the Constitution. Let me know in the comments section what you think about the ATF taking away this guy's guns. And as always, I appreciate everybody's support with the channel. You guys are always crushing it by liking, sharing, and subscribing and hitting those post notifications. And you doing so helps the channel out and help it grow, and I really do appreciate it. And I invite each and every one of you to come back and watch my next video.